Cool. So we added this Kajeet button right to our homepage, and we're hoping that it compile more resources here. But for now, we have the Sentinel logon URL, and everybody receives the Kajeets in an envelope with a letter attached, and on the letter was a little sticker with your Sentinel login, and that's your login to this admin portal for the Kajeet management side. So we'll go in there and poke around a little bit, and I'll show you some of the features and things you have control over. But we also put this Smart Spot Quick Start Guide, the case insert. So all of your cases should have come with a little how to start it's essentially, even though they call it Smart Spot, it is a Verizon MiFi. So how to turn that on, how to grab your password, sign on to the network, things like that. So if you tend to lose those, they are just cards. Or some replacements, these look a little bit different, just a fun box there. And the thing that I thought was kind of cool, even if the student is over their data limit, or if it's in a time that they're not supposed to be using the smart spots, because they do shut off between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Hopefully students can get some good sleep. If they go to this site on the MiFi, they'll see if they're over on their data or if the time is blocked. So they're not completely out in the cold. They'll know what's going on as long as they visit the site on that MiFi network. So we have those for you if you find that they've become lost. We have a Spanish version of that as well. And then I really can't remember if I sent out this web filtering information in an email or not. I know some people and some tech directors had some specific questions about the web filtering. They were concerned that it wasn't going to mirror their own web filtering process, and that we want to be consistent. But the Kajeet people are in there every day honing their web filters, so it's really, that's one of they're very proud of the filtering. So this is the thing we have called Kajeet Managed, and they have come up with the boundaries of the web filter themselves. We do have the ability to define some things that you find are allowed through that you'd rather see blocked. You can send me that URL, or if there's something you need allowed through that is currently blocked, you can let me know about that too. So we go through this. It breaks down the web filters into sections, and section 1 is the adult content, adult categories. So all of your smart spots are now configured for the older students, 9 through 12. So you're going to see that things on abortion are allowed through where they would be blocked for the K-8 students. But you're still going to block on alcohol, gambling, hate speech. Intimate apparel is allowed through. I don't know. And then we keep scrolling. It goes down to what, again, is enforced, not enforced. And the only instant messaging thing that's allowed through, from what I heard, was the Hangouts, because most of schools are gas schools at this time. So there was a decision to allow YouTube access on our plan, because a lot of our teachers are pointing to YouTube as a resource. So that is allowed through, but it's still relying on Google's restricted mode for YouTube. So it's an added layer of protection. But that is not infallible, because it relies on community flagging, the age restrictions that may have been put on the video itself, and other signals like tags. So it's allowed through, but they're not granted unfettered access to YouTube. Things like Hulu and Netflix are blocked exclusively. Nothing is allowed through. But we did test our Media Connect content, because this is the Kajeet Smart Spots are offered through Media Connect. We tested Discovery Education and NBC Learns, and because those are quantified as educational resources, they are allowed through. We also tested School Tool, and because the idea is maybe parents want to log on to the Smart Spot with their students and look at their grades, things like that. It's not just for the students, the Smart Spots. So I said individual sites can be added. All right, now let's go back to Sentinel. So again, your username and password should be on that little sticker that was attached to the letter with the Kajeet. And all the device groups, but you should be granted access only to your own device group. So, for example, for the last 7 days, usage is just, but it breaks down. You can do 7 days, a month, break it out like that. We've got the summary of the data, time online. You can even see the time of the day that the students are online. Let me pull up not McGraw's. I think it's Marathon has used this week. Some data in there. Okay. It's been on used for 4 hours and 6 minutes over the course of this week. One device is being used, then the other one is dormant at this time. So you guys should stop seeing those emails probably from the system saying you have dormant devices, because you'll be using them now. But we can be through Tammy using that. And we can also see down here the type of things you're denied from. Students should try to get on a game, select some of the social networking, so things are a lot through. So this dashboard can be shared pretty easily via email, and it just sends it as a PDF snapshot of this dashboard information. I don't know if your IT people are interested, or your principal, just to show the use of it and how things are going. And you can additionally schedule the dashboard to be sent like once a week to one of those individuals. Then if we go to manage profiles, you're on the system. So here we've got my information and my password. So if you'd like to edit your password, you can just come in here, click it, current, change it, and then your security question. So let's cancel out of that, because I'm not going to change mine right now. And then we have manage device here. And this is where I'm going to see all of the devices you guys that your school has access to. So Casanova, do it for Ben. If you want to create nicknames for your Smart Spots, as opposed to looking at the back, on the back of the Kajeets, there's a little plastic insert, and you can see that what is labeled an IMEI starts with 990. Those are on the back of the Smart Spots themselves, with our property sticker as well. And then the serial number doesn't show up unless you're on the Kajeet itself and you go down 3 levels and you can see it there. So most likely you're going to want to maybe label the Kajeet itself as Kajeet 1 or Kajeet 2, however you guys deem appropriate. But anyway, I would just check the box here, and then I can change the nickname. Might be a little bit easier for you. And then in here, we also have the ability to change filter groups. So I don't know if this is applicable to you two that are on the line right now, but I was thinking for some of the 7 to 12 buildings, they could come in here if they were going to check out to a 7th grader and bump the filter down to the K8. And again, that would align with that chart that I showed you earlier on the web filtering. I forget what they call it, something different in the document itself. Yeah, young students. So the line I changed it to the K8 filter, but the line with all these things that they're restricted on here. And it just changes it for that time period until you can change it back. So I'm going to cancel out of that. And the other option we have is to suspend the device. So I think the best use of suspending a device is probably if they're not returning it in time. They went over their loan period. You can suspend the device, so then they basically have no data access on the device until they, until they hand it back in. And then, so we could suspend and then come back in, check it again, and unsuspend it to have it ready for the next person. We do have the option to mark it as lost or stolen. And then whenever somebody tries to get on, they'll receive a message that this hotspot has been marked as lost or stolen. Please return to blah, blah, blah. We had a lot of questions in the initial emails about how much was the replacement cost for a lost or stolen or damaged hotspot. And Doreen has decided not to charge the districts for lost, stolen, or damaged hotspots, but she will not replace them. You can purchase a replacement hotspot through the COSER. You can purchase just more hotspots through the COSER. So that's something that Arlene is pulling together pricing for now. And the other thing we have access to right now, or you should have access to, is the circulation system in the this media center. So as an overview, and I see sends to specific hotspots, and we can mark that hotspot 1 and check out the device to a student using either their student ID or just their name, and define your lending period, and it'll tell you when items are overdue. So I told them I wasn't sure how much of our group would be using this, because we are the librarians and you all have circulation systems of your own. So, but it's here and available for you if you choose to use it. And then you also have the reports, which they have a number of canned reports in here. So you can see the top denied, the top users, again, that dashboard. You can generate the report. So I just ran this report yesterday for Marathon, and then I have the ability, once it was completed, it went down to the recent reports tab, because I didn't opt to email it to myself at that time. And I can view it in HTML format. And I just see the top websites that were being visited through this testing, Google and Kajeet. So let's see. I think it'd be interesting to see the top denied websites myself. But again, you can schedule these and have them distributed to your IT people, your principal, whomever you think might be interested. Okay, so I went really fast because that's how I do it. I'm just going to open up the chat window and said anything. No. Ben, do you have any questions, specific questions?
I don't think so at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's like you don't know what you don't know until you've used it. So, yeah, take it home, play with it. And I know I was on the webinar yesterday with a few librarians, and they're just still trying to figure out how best to circulate them and the lending period and that sort of thing. But again, those are things you guys can decide in your own building. We're not going to define those for you because it might be more advantageous to have one held back for the field trips, or I don't know what types of things, you know, the possibilities are endless, and it's kind of hard with only two because you guys have so many students. Okay, no questions from Karen. Okay, but that's basically it. If you guys could think of anything, or you're struggling to get into Sentinel, just give me a holler and we can go through that.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too, thanks.
Bye.